Raider Nation, how you guys doing? This is the Unfiltered Truth. Early, but damn, as you have all heard today, Derek Carr has been benched, and that is it. The end of the era. 9 years and counting. But there's more to it. There's more information we're going to dive into to inform you guys of what's going on and what the Raiders will be doing going forward. Phil, you want to say something before we go and start that hot intro?
Before we hit that all the way deep down, I just wanted to take an opportunity to say thank you to what you have done to Derek Carr for what he has done for the franchise. It hasn't all been bad. It's definitely been some good times, and he's done a lot of good things. And unfortunately, this did not end the way that any of us wanted it to end. I don't take any pleasure in watching this man get run out of town, but there comes a point in time when it's just time.
Well, there you have it.
Destination for the stars, past, present, and
the new hotness, the intro.
Hey, I had to do it. I had to just make something a little funny right there. I mean, can I make some things funny?
Hey,
on November 13th, 2000.
I'm in one of my moods today, so Can you hate a guy for it?
Said, should we be gloating? No, shouldn't be gloating.
Oh no, we ain't gloating. Hell no, that's.
Said, I would be remiss if you gonna get us the intro video. What you doing, player? Oh,
no. Should I give everybody? You know what? Should I give you the intro video? What you put it under, Mr. Unfiltered?
No, yeah, it's at the bottom.
Oh. Let's get it rolling. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I'm your host, Phil Jones, Phil Robinson III, Jigga Man, whatever you want to call that man, Mr. Unfiltered. We are here, and we are dropping knowledge and news. And as you guys have heard today, Derek Carr has been benched for the final 2 weeks of the season. There was other news being reported today that Derek Carr is not even at practice. So when you look at that, Phil, I mean,
something out for Derek. A little sparkling water.
Oh, you pulled one. You pulled one out. I mean, damn, you went that far. But I'm gonna say one thing right here. And I saw the message. I go back to it real quick. Raiders fan 8177. Our good brother Raider Rich says that we shouldn't gloat about this, and I do agree. You shouldn't gloat about a man's downfall. I don't think of it as a man's downfall. I'm not looking at this to gloat about. I'm just coming out here to tell you guys that what I've been preaching to you guys and what facts I've been giving to you guys, as well as Phil Robinson, every day and night. Hey, it's here. We've said it for a long time now. And it took a new regime to come in to say, hey, this guy's not it. He's just not the guy. Now, Lindell, you said, what do we do now? I mean, yeah, you want to see what you got in Stidham for these next 2 games. Most likely the Raiders are going to end up drafting a quarterback. If you end up losing these last 2 games, that's fine because it's going to move you up in the draft. You want to try to get as much capital being moved up in this draft. If you need to use Derek Carr as a trade option, and so be it. Let it happen because then you can trade some of those picks and try to make something out of nothing.
See how much Houston really wants that number 1 draft spot when they got number
now
6 and Derek Carr.
I don't know if this rumor is true, and rumors always start early on, especially with a team that's definitely out of the playoffs. And I'm still going to say we're also out of the playoffs, but Houston had been looking and saying, hey, we got Lovey, you got a guy like Lovey Smith. You're going to look at trying to booster up that defense that they need a lot of help on. And you are facing a lot of talent in the AFC. You facing a lot of talent, offensive talent in the AFC South, where you got to deal with running back and Taylor, ETN and Lawrence. And then you got Willis going to be on up and coming. And then you got to deal with Derrick Henry. So you're going to need an edge rusher to stop him. You're going to need more defensive help. A lot of people saying, oh, it's going to be Bryce Young. Is Bryce Young playing in the playoffs this year?
Nope.
I rest my case. Now, if he played in the playoffs this year, without a doubt, it's a guarantee they're going to look at him being the number 1 pick. But with that not being the case,
Junior playing in the playoffs this year?
No. But you get what I'm saying, that it could go either way.
Right.
But he is arguably the best defender in this draft. But Phil, what's getting me right now is this. You talk about that you a team leader. You all for the team. You ain't showing up to practice? Now, people say, well, he's inactive. Okay, and? I done seen guys inactive and still show up to practice. Now, I want to hear your take on that.
So my particular take is I'm not about to look into that very, very deeply at all because you and I both know what the reality of this situation is. This man has been removed from the field of play in order to preserve a contract stipulation that would not allow them to void the rest of his contract at the end of the season. Derek Carr is not coming back. Derek Carr is not going to suddenly get reactivated and placed on the field, and they're not picking up the $40 million that they would owe him if he's still on the roster February 15th. And for all intents and purposes, they probably want him to stay home and just enjoy life and rest up and be as perfectly normal and healthy as he can be so that when the time comes for them to do what it is that they need to do, there's no holdups and no snags.
I'll tell you this right here. Another reason why I also, and I was looking at a text message. Derek Carr, if he's not practicing at all, and I think, yeah, like you were saying, if you don't have him out on the field, you want to make sure that motherfucker doing a physical, make sure that injury clause don't kick in or anything. You don't want him picking that up. So if you don't have him picking that up, Raiders are good with not having to pay him.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's in their best interest. It allows them the most amount of cap flexibility. It'll give them the opportunity to offer Josh Jacobs a max deal. Now, if one of the things that you have to start to look at is what's the plan moving forward. If you're going to move on from your quarterback, that means that you got to keep the running back, because the running game is going to be the basis of your offense. While you either bring whoever it is along, if it's a rookie, you get him an extra tight end and get the running game cracking. And if it's a veteran quarterback, then it is what it is, and you run the offense as is. But you're gonna need Jacobs, and you're gonna need Jacobs to continue doing what he was doing this year.
No, absolutely. But I mean, we saw in the preseason, you saw how the running game was working. I mean, the guy was following what he was supposed to do. It wasn't hot or amazing. I'm not saying that he's going to be the second coming, but I said this to a handful of people, even with getting Devontae Adams, even with going through and having your playoff win. If you're going to want the right change for this organization, this team, you guys are going to have to lose this season. You're going to have to lose.
Step backward.
I hate that Debbie Downer, but it was the truth. This season had to be a loss.
Yep.
Not saying, and I'm gonna shut this down real quick. I don't know who the fuck is running around here saying that Josh McDaniels had this intricate plot to make sure that the Raiders lost this entire season. No,
he did it on purpose. That was the plan.
I don't know who's that. Sweet Willie, Wild Willie, Wile Coyote. I don't know who the hell that was. But the fact of the matter is, you don't say that kind of stuff. Now, what you could say is this, and how it's properly said is this. This team said, we've been having folks tell us that this guy is elite. Okay. If he's an elite quarterback, let's see what an elite quarterback can do. I can help you out, but I want to see you lead this offense. If you can't lead this offense, you're not succeeding. He could not succeed.
No.
He didn't get the job done.
Nope.
Okay.
He was placed in plenty of opportunities to go out there and get it done. And for all the fourth quarter comebacks that you hear about, he was set up to have at
game-winning drives.
5, 6 of them. 5 this year alone. 8 times he's been placed in game-winning drive situations.
A lot.
When the opportunity to expand on that legacy presented itself, said, nah, I'm cool.
And to be honest, when you got a guy that's put around with, even with you not having Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow for the majority of the season, you still have Devontae Adams. You have a guy in Keelan Cole getting wide open. You saw the performance that we've had out of Mac Hollins. And then you have Josh Jacobs. And you can't perform to the level of what people are saying you are, at least top 12 or top 15. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's not. You had weapons put all around that we've been hearing for years that he needs. He needs a top offensive line. Guess what? What was the offensive line ranked this year? 12th.
12th in pass protection so far with 2.93 seconds to throw, which was 9th in NFL Next Gen stats as of this week.
He needs He needs a good running game. Oh, he has a good running game. You got Josh Jacobs leading the league in rushing.
1,539
Pocket time for Derek Carr is about damn near 3 seconds. 3 damn seconds. The average is 2.5 in the pocket. And I want you guys to understand that. That's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, Mississippi and a half, and then you throw it. That's time when you really look at it. So once you have the ball in your hand, that clock is ticking. Derek Carr, there's times where this man has had about 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I may be hurting some people's feelings tonight, but the truth hurts. And I need you guys to really understand that everybody's saying that you're one thing, but you're really not.
And,
He just not.
And I'll take it a step further, and I'll point out that the inaccuracies that you've seen and the problems with where's the ball going come down to mechanics. Something is thrown off his mechanics so much that the only time he's able to complete deep passes is when he's got momentum moving forward, as in he's climbing the pocket.
It's another thing. His feet are never planted.
Nope.
Never. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. The last couple games, I say within the last 3 games, when he's thrown them interceptions, I say the Rams game and even in the Steelers game, there's no oomph on the ball.
Nope.
There's no oomph. I mean, there's no velocity. It just it hangs up there like a 10-year-old throwing the football up in the air.
Like a water balloon.
The fact that you have to run up into the pocket to throw downfield, not like step and throw downfield. You're running. Why are you running and throwing? Because sometimes you're not going to always be accurate doing that. So at the end of the day, to be honest, that's not an accurate throw. I mean, this man is like running and just saying, YOLO, Lord Jesus, take the ball.
He's down there somewhere.
Vega, I already read his rookie bio. I have it right here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this again.
There's no need.
Again, Linnell, he may have did that to Ruggs, but what did Ruggs do? Ruggs had the speed. So if he needed to overthrow it, he could overthrow it. Ruggs was going to get there. And then there was times where Ruggs was like, hey, bro, you really overthrew it.
Like, I can't get this, fool. What are you doing?
Like,
but that's because he's YOLO chucking it.
And what's even baffling is this, how people are saying that is Josh McDaniels is telling him not to throw to Devontae Adams. You need to be slapped. I mean, you need to be slapped. I've never heard some shit like that in my life. No. You know what? I'm just trying to figure out. You need to be slapped to literally think that Josh McDaniels said, do not throw to Devontae Adams.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah. You need to be slapped like that. Think some shit like that. I mean, seriously? How about we go back and look through the game and it shows that, oh, well, he did throw over there. Overthrew him, underthrew him. Why the fuck is that ball going out of bounds? To be honest, you know who he was looking like? He was looking like Carson Wentz. I went there.
Wow. It's crazy. I was just, it's been just something that's been amazing to me. Rich brought this to my attention earlier. That was something I wasn't hip to, that out of the 72 targets, Carr has 72 incompletions throwing to Davante Adams, and only 6 of them are drops.
You good?
It just made me sick. Ill. Physically.
Oh, I thought you were hitting some booger sugar.
Instantaneous. But that was, when I heard that shit, I was just like, wow. And then you think all the catches that Davante Adams still has, all the yards and all the touchdowns.
It just doesn't make any sense to be that abysmal.
The first throw of the game, he airmailed straight over his head on a pause route.
And you know, for some of the folks that have run around and said, "Well, did some of you guys say, oh, how come you getting mad because he wasn't throwing to Davante that much?" I'm like, no. See, and this is why I get why Josh McDaniels was doing what he was doing in the first place. He had Hunter Renfrow there. He had Darren Waller there with Adams. Even Keelan Cole, I can get Matt Collins. These guys have speed. These guys can get open. You can't hit any of these targets.
None of them.
And this is what, and it was the other thing that I go back and I think about what Josh Jacobs said at the end of that Steelers game, because he literally came out and said, you know, I understand why Coach stuck with the passing game. It was working. That's the answer. The passing game was working. The problem is somebody's not executing all the way through. They're not consistent enough. Like I said, tonight, I don't care if I hurt feelings. The truth fucking hurts. We need to get used to it.
Because Raider Nation deserves better.
And I'm still on the wow.
The wow.
Derek Carr. I still think about that wide open pass and being an interception. He's wide open. He can't screw this up. Watch this.
Hold my beer. Hold my sparkling water. Let me show you something.
Now, Mike, I saw that you were asking about what the Raiders can do going forward with whoever's at quarterback. There are a lot of options, and I need everybody to have an open mind. Because, look, I'll be real. I didn't have a real open mind on us getting Davante Adams during this offseason. Don't be shocked at the situation that's going on with Baltimore. They say, fuck it. Mark Davis wants to win now. And you try to pull in Lamar Jackson. It sounds crazy as hell, but you got to have one little crazy as hell mindset up there. So you got your little blackboard. You can put that on the backboard. Keep it there. and just put question marks of you can just do the odds of like this is like a minus 120,000 on the parlay. Okay, let's go and put that all at the top. It's really slim that can happen, but you still need to put that up there to consider it. You got a Geno Smith that's going to be a free agent. Yes, or you got a Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield might end up sticking with the Rams.
But they do
factor now. You have Jarrett Stidham, and you got Jordan Love, and then you got to factor in, damn, do they bring in that crazy old fool Aaron Rodgers? And then you also got to factor in TB, not tuberculosis, but Tom Brady. You're going to probably end up getting one of those veteran quarterbacks. And then you also could probably have Jarrett Stidham hang around. Then we had that first round pick. Raiders are currently, I believe, 9th right now in the draft.
Yeah.
Phil might not like this. It could be CJ Stroud. No, take that back. No, they are, they're 9th. It could be a guy like CJ Stroud. It could be a moment where the Raiders say we're going to try and get Bryce Young. Oh, yeah. I even say this. Once healthy, the Raiders can go with Hendon Hooker.
Yep.
You have to have an open mind. You can't be inside the box. You got to think outside the box in these situations. This is why you have those guys in those front offices. They got to think. We got to think of the best possible scenario, the worst possible scenario. It can't be your way or the highway. You have to have an open mind, and that is why the ones that have that open mind, even Cam Rising.
Yep. I think that would be a real good. McDaniels pick.
Yep, and like I said, Hendon Hooker. You can get him late in the rounds, and you can say, hey, that first round pick, let's go defense. Shit. Or trade back a little bit and try to get some more picks, especially with that pick where you at. You probably can end up getting, I don't know, I think maybe the Lions pick. Who knows? But in this situation right here, the Raiders are most likely looking to grab a quarterback in this draft, late round, but a top first round pick. Okay, we're not getting General Booty.
Thank God.
Now, it would be interesting if he drafted a Hooker and then a General Booty.
And then a General Booty.
God, he's a lot of commercials, man. But those are some of the things you got to factor in. Now, everybody's going to say, well, what about the defense? You know, the defense, they didn't do this. The defense didn't do that. Again, I'm going to go back to the Josh Jacobs. Everybody needs to stop coming at the fucking defense because the defense did their part. These last handful of games, the offense hasn't been getting it done. Josh McDaniels even said, you can't win just scoring 10 points. You can't win just scoring 13 points. You can't. That offense is what? Calculates up to about 100 for this year?
Mm-hmm.
About over $100 million for that offense. And you can't get shit done. Everybody wants to say, it's the play calling. No, it's called lack of execution. Okay? I'm going to sound it out for some of you guys. Lack of execution. When you can't cross that 50 fucking yard line against the Saints, I don't want to hear a damn thing from you. Talk about the defense. That's pathetic. You know why Derek Carr was shit with accuracy this year?
Mechanics, hips all over the place, not feet not set.
Woo!
Throwing, pointing what whole body pointing one direction, arm throwing it in the other.
Scared when he sees a blitz and it's really not a blitz.
It said robotic and his reactions.
Like, I mean, Jesus Christ. I was like, damn, Uncle Rico could hit that damn throw.
Right? Said always looking for the safe throw. Well, he's been a lot better with his aggressiveness this season, but also by that same token, when he's not delivered a good football and not been accurate a vast majority of the time too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. You know when the bad juju really kicked in? When he was talking that shit to Paul.
It's an argument to be made there.
I was like, damn, what Paul do to you? Yeah, it's, and again, I will read this. I hate reading this, but I gotta read this because everybody's like, well, what's going on? Tell me what we're seeing this season and then last season and the season on and the season and season of that before, I say from 2017 on to now. Footwork often retreats from pressure and throws off his back foot. Needs to step into his throws more consistently. Poor decision making under duress. Average pocket presence with wavering poise and unrefined pocket movement. Stares down his intended target. He needs to improve eye discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading a scouting report from 2014. And I'm going to read this. Huh?
Said from 2014.
Yeah. I'm going to read this one more time. Stares down his intended target. He needs to improve eye discipline. So when everybody's saying, oh, you know, these were predetermined throws, the play calling requires him to have predetermined throws. That's horse shit. That is horse shit. Every time I hear that, I'm just ready to tell somebody, you know what? Go back to the kitchen. Don't ever come up and tell me that, oh, they're predetermined throws. And that's why Derek Carr, no, it's not. He stares down targets. Where you got your running back doing jumping jacks over here saying, please throw me the ball. I can run for about 25 yards and we can still have a chance in this game. 4th and 3, he's right there. He's waving. He's saying, hey, I'm right here. Please throw to me. No. He doesn't throw. Because you know why? He's staring down his target. Think he got his computer working. I'm not done. I'm going to go down through this whole list. Vega, you requested me to go through this list. I'm going to go through this list right now. Struggles when his receivers' routes are disrupted. You know what he does? Throws it to the fucking ground. I'm getting sick and tired of that shit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Often late to recognize the blitz. Operated almost exclusively out of shotgun with 4 or 5 receiver sets. Now you have that going on. I mean, hey, I thought, something would, I thought you looked good with that. And we've been running a lot of that. And you're still not looking good at that. Because you know why? There are multiple things ahead of that is in the way of that. Not an anticipatory thrower. Will not hurt defenses on the ground. He has enough mobility to get by, but is not much of a running threat. Jesus Christ, it's like they saw the future of how these 9 years are going to go. It's like Miss Cleo got a hold of this shit.
Derek is who he is, and I mean that's
yeah.
For everybody who said I've long said it, and people laughed at me when I said it, but Derek Carr is the most consistent quarterback you've probably ever laid eyes on in your life. You can
hold up, Phil. Oh, I'm not done. I'm sorry. I'm not done. Because it's the main motherfucking thing I cannot stand. Hangs his receivers out to dry at times. Everybody said, no, his receivers the wrong routes. No, they're not running the wrong routes, ladies and gentlemen. That man is hanging his receivers out to dry. Matter of fact, didn't Curtis that was Lofton even said that shit. Damn, a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Lofton, he even said this shit before. Does not appear to see the field very well. Throwing into double teams occasionally. Double teams, triple teams, quadruples. And the defenders are like, oh, shit, it's Candy. Did I say Curtis? I'm sorry. James Lofton. The last but not least, struggled with top competition. College career ended on a lousy note as he was eradicated, destroyed, assaulted by USC.
That was a bad game for them.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not trying to destroy it, man. This is telling you the facts and background of the man, of what we've been seeing so far. Yes, these are the negatives. We know what he can do with his positives, but the problem is we're seeing less of the positives and more of his negatives the last couple of seasons.
It's on that negative downturn, if you will. Coming off the worst year of his career.
Where's Florida Evans when you need her?
But when you want to talk about getting receivers killed, you have looked no further than Hunter Renfrow in this game against the Steelers.
Fuck no! I ain't got no. We ain't gotta go there.
Every pass Hunter Renfrow caught was almost in between two Steeler defenders or with a guy draped all over him. And when he was wide open, Derek threw the ball to the other team or didn't look his way at all.
He got Darren Waller killed.
The YOLO pass. 3 guys on Darren Waller down the seam. Nobody on Hunter Renfrow down the other seam.
Got that man killed. Oh.
What you got there, Phil?
No, I'm just reading what Ian Rappaport has said. Basically, what I said as part of the discussions the last few days, both sides and concluded that it was best Derek Carr step away for the final 2 games to avoid the obvious distractions. Sources say he won't practice and will be listed as not injury related.
So, like I said, they told him to stay home, and it is what it is. Said he can have some peace and quiet and not have to go through that.
I mean, I'm just going to be real here. How many other guys have been benched and they had to sit through that shit? I mean, let's all be honest here. How many guys do we all know and seen in the league has been bent and still stood by there? Shit, I even say Carson Wentz was one of those guys.
Just think it's crazy that you get a no trade clause and didn't even get a chance to use it.
Yeah. That's right. Mariota did sit through that shit.
Yep. Got one opportunity to play, tore it up, and then got sent right back down to the shadow realm. And Mariota just had a baby, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a knee injury this year, and then his wife had a baby. So that's why he had left. You know what, Phil? I'm sorry, but yeah. Let's be real here. You supposed to support everybody, right?
Yeah.
Practice and at the game, but they saying you ain't got to be at the game either.
Saying,
man.
It's not a good look. It certainly is not a good look. You would want you. This is a situation that is not honest and truthfully. This is probably as neatly as it could have been handled, because it could get very ugly very easily. You know.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Shiznit is brought up, it's to the best so that
distractions.
It's not harassing the players, because nobody is gonna ask them about any of the 2 games they got coming up. I mean, let's be real.
Nope.
That's not the story. He'll get there. It'll either be in the second half against the Niners when it's out of reach, or against the Chiefs, but he'll get there. Yeah, it's like you knew what you were getting, but the problem is that what you were getting wasn't enough.
Yeah. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you know, go on, Phil.
Like I said on Monday, the likelihood of another team coming to bail out the Raiders with draft picks for a guy that they know they are absolutely getting ready to void his deal is not very high. Now, like I said, the only people who'd likely be able to pull something off like that probably would be the Jets. But the question is, do they want to roll that dice? And does he want to go?
Well, I'll tell you this. You know, the one thing I won't be seeing on Sunday during the timeout is this.
Got to get it all.
Oh, you know I had to get it in. I ain't give a fuck. I want to answer this.
Now this one.
How do you think Adams feel about this? This is a business, and at the end of the day, they are friends. But again, this is a business. If you're not going to execute and get the job done, you get replaced.
So
as simple as that.
I'll say that I've heard whispers already that because of this move, Adams is not interested in rebuilding or restart or anything. So if the quarterback if he can't convince him that the quarterback that they bring in is going to be able to get it done and to help get to where he wants to be, then he may not be too far behind Derek going out the door.
That'd be another first round pick and a second or 2 firsts.
There are some wide. Now I will say that while the wide receivers in this draft are plentiful,
yeah,
so there's plenty of skill positions available in this year's draft.
Oh, buddy.
Don't hold your breath.
Remember I said on that blackboard, you got to weigh out all options, look at it as a parlay. Jackson being the craziest outcome ever happening. And then you got Brady on there and Rodgers and so on and so forth. You got to understand, anything can happen now. Shit.
I think that Lamar Jackson would probably be further out of the realm of possibility than Brady.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But if you do have the money now, hear me out. If you do have the money now to bring in a guy like Jackson and still have the possibility of maintaining your picks, I mean, shit. You got to consider it. But like I said, it's the top of the parlay. That one where it's like 120,000, where it's only probably gonna get you about $1.25. So that's why I weigh that. It's a small likelihood of happening, but it could happen.
JMD is a snake playing friendly before he rips apart another team. He built Jacobs to lead the league in rushing, and prior to Derek Carr airmailing virtually every pass he threw towards Devontae Adams was leading the league in touchdown receptions. Darren Waller also would have been a huge fixture for this offense. You've seen what he's done in just really the 2 games that he's had opportunities to work in. He caught 1 touchdown pass, was targeted for another. And that's who your primary tight end was supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's also a better blocker than Foster, at least in terms of getting in guys' way and engulfing them and making the correct block. So there's a lot here that you really got to stop and consider. And now, whether you like JMD, you may not, and if that's where you are at, then you got to be real. You got to look at where this offense was in total for everybody who'd say Derek Carr didn't have the full scope of the offense. Well, you look at where the offense finished in terms of everybody else and add in the fact that 1 week they got shut out. I don't know how that you can arrive that this guy, that JMD is not a good coach.
It's funny how people really still believe that JMD, he's the one that's destroying this team. Ain't gonna be him. I brought all these guys in. we said, okay, we're going to go. Me and Dave Ziegler agreed to go on and get Devontae Adams. So how the fuck is that trying to? Y'all need to sit back and think about what the fuck comes out of your mouth, because some of you guys be sounding like you on that blue sky. Some of y'all been hanging around with Walter White and Jesse. I gotta leave that shit alone.
13th in passing.
Hold on. Say it again.
13th in
Thank
passing.
you. Thank you.
15th in rushing, overall rushing. #12th in points, with being shut out one week, in addition to the bye. 2 weeks of not scoring and still 12th in scoring.
Damn.
12th in points per game. That's this offense.
Yeah. That it is.
14th overall in total yards. That's upper echelon in
I gotta stop this shit right here. Some of his play calling has cost us games. No, it hasn't. And it got pointed out even in the Saints game that it's lack of execution of the plays that is being called. Everybody can jump and say that it's a play. This ain't Madden, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope.
If you're not taking care of your assignment, a blocker's not taking care of his assignment, a guy not throwing to a guy out there, that's on him. It's not on the coach, not on the play calling. It's on the players. And I need you guys to really understand it, truly understand that at the end of the day, this play calling, okay, Malcolm, I will agree on that. But again, that play design is right there to where the old lineman, he did miss his block there. So it could have been a first down on that play. It was showed.
Running jet sweeps. He's running the jet sweep to beat the coverage of the safety over the top and to nullify that. By running that jet sweep, he can't be double teamed. If the corner chooses not as lazy and getting out there, there's going to be a sizable gap for him to go out there and do what he needs to do in order to work with. There was a point for that. Now,
and then there's sometimes, with that jet sweep, it can be a fake and just sends that receiver right out there in the motion, and he's hitting upfield. And everybody's probably leaning towards that way. And guess what? It frees somebody coming across the opposite right. So, I mean, look. I'll
say DA has deceptive speed, because every time I say that he's not that fast, I look at him and I don't see him having a problem getting away from whoever it is that's in front of him, in between him and the end zone. So it's not that he can't run. It's not that he doesn't have speed. It's just, ideally you would think a burner would run it, but he's a football player and he's got football speed.
I can put that in agreement right there, because it should have went to a guy like Keelan Cole. He's got the speed.
He does.
So I can agree with you on that one right there. I will. Shit, they could have went to DJ, and that's when they started going with Turner. They started using Turner for the jet sweeps.
they also were using that play as a setup for something else to work off of it. And that's really why they kept using Devontae Adams for it. If you bring in Keelan Cole, then it's a drop dead giveaway of what you're about to do. But if you run it with Devontae Adams, there's any number of things that could happen. It could be a decoy. You could give it to him on the jet sweep. You could fake it, see if you got a lazy corner, and then throw it over right in the flat somewhere where nobody's at because the corner decided to stop running. And he's still underneath the safety with one guy left to beat and a whole lot of space in front of him. So there's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different things that could have happened and a lot of different ways that they could disguise plays and set something up and get a better look for later, such as the Denver game where they were using him as that deep crossing route for so long that when he broke it out and hit the circle route, there was nobody over there but him. The corner literally ran himself out of the play.
Yeah, damn, that would have been a 6.
That
would have been a 6. He would have been a 6. If they take Daniels, he would have been a 6.
And let's be real about 6 coaches. For everybody who said that they haven't given this man enough, 6 head coaches, 5, 6 offensive coordinators? Out of all those guys, nobody could find a way to make it work? What's the likelihood of that happening? Told me, huh?
You told me when? When you tell me? Shit. Motherfuckers thought I was Dale Gribble for a minute saying, it's not going to happen, Phil. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Bitch, please.
Don't have a clue. Don't have an idea. I watched tape. The tape told me something different. Said, I believe that.
Somebody said tape don't lie.
It is what it is, you know. When you find yourself defending losing play, you need to reevaluate the tape.
I mean, you need to reevaluate your fucking life.
Process. I don't know about life, but definitely your process. Because defending losing.
Oh, no, that's life because you're lying to yourself. That means you have Stockholm syndrome. That you've been lying and then putting this big ass front that this guy is the guy, and he's not the guy. You know what's bad? There are people from other sports, from basketball, soccer, other guys that play a different sport, people that are actors that are saying, he's a good guy.
Great guy.
But he's not the guy.
Not the guy.
Like, seriously. You have one of the best point guards literally saying, "13, 83, 28 are better." I'm in the DC area. I'm looking at Tyler fucking Heineke.
Wishing.
Not Monarchy, but Heineke. Getting the Deadskins, the Foreskins, the Commandos to be successful. We watched number 4 decide to defeat the Ice King finally last year. Then the Ice King came back from the dead and slapped the shit out of that ass. We got folks that have been running around for the years that me and Phil Robinson have been trying to tell folks that he is not the guy. He ain't slightly better than average. He's average. You were ranked 12th. You're looking worse than 12th. You got Geno Smith playing better football than you. I want you to think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, Geno fucking Smith is playing better football than Derek Carr. I want you to sit your ass down there and think about that.
Month of December, 55%, and a high efficiency offense.
The sex of God damn it. Damn Q. If y'all can see.
Wow.
Woo. Shit, I don't know. Send them down to New Orleans. Call it a day. No. Who beat Geno? That guy that ran the fucking football for 80-some yards. Get that shit straight.
Game-winning drive led by Carr, bro. He hiked the ball. He handed it to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs couldn't get the ball on his own blood.
That was Josh Jacobs running down that field with his legs and strength. Because we got somebody that runs a 4.6 basically like Jacobs. And he refuses to run. He doesn't want to use his legs. You know, come to think about it, old decrypted edge rusher in Chandler Jones won against the Patriots and stiff-armed the motherfucker to the ground.
I seen him.
I seen that shit with my eyes. No, it's too much credit given to one guy, and he needs his blame. I'm gonna be real, bro. There's some folks out here reminding me of January.
The winner goes.
What was that day? January 6th.
We got the we got the fourth quarter comebacks, right? That's the QB stat.
Oh yeah, it does. That's true. But as I recall, everybody said that wasn't a quarterback stat.
We do have some good news. Truly, Tony Bang, asking for his moment in the sun, predicted Josh Jacobs would rush for 1,500 yards this year.
Damn, he did.
And he did it.
Yes, he did.
So shout out to Truly Tony.
Hey, Jennifer. But since we want to talk about quarterback stats, let me go on and throw this one out for you. Boy, they saved him.
Who?
They saved him.
Who?
Because you know what? He would have had 80 losses.
Well, as it stands, I believe his last pass for the Raiders is going to be an interception. Somebody was kind enough to point that out to me. I said, wow.
Damn.
Rather apropos.
Your record was 63 and 79, and they saved your ass from hitting 80 losses. Other than that, because I don't want this keep continuing to go on, because then it feels like I'm bashing the motherfucker, but I'm just speaking the truth. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we told you first. This would be the end of the era for Derek Carr. Ladies and gentlemen, we told you first. This man was not the guy. Long time ago.
Long.
At the end of the day, he is not the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders to finish out this 2022 season. Phil, anything to add?
Well, before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you're a first timer, please like, subscribe, get a second to come back for another episode. Hear us out. It's a new time moving forward. We still have the rest of this year to finish out, but the off season is going to be one unlike any other that we've ever been used to before, and it's going to be wild and strap in. So this is the unfiltered truth. We do what we do because you deserve better.